Let's do a self-exploration meditation on perceptions superimpose on nothingness. You will need an orange for this meditation. Preferably use a peel easy orange like a tangerine or a mandarin. Once ready, settle down with eyes closed for the self-inquiry meditation. In this long silence after the first sentence, wasn't there a yearning to hear the sound of some wisdom words? Did you recognize that? Do you recognize that in the silence there is a natural aversion to your nothingness, an aversion to your natural deafness? Do you realize that your true nature is nothingness and nobodiness? Nobodiness cannot hear. Your natural deafness is being superimposed by something. Are you able to see the superimposition here and now? In the silence, there was an aversion, and that aversion projected a subtle sound image in the mind. The idea of a sound flashed in the mind. That was your first level of superimposition of sound on your natural deafness, your natural soundlessness, your natural silence. Right now, the sound of these words is superimposing on your innate soundlessness. This is the second level of superimposition. Are you able to recognize both the levels of superimposition, the subtle as well as the gross? You have had this realization in your first dream, right out of deep sleep, too. Attempt to see the same duality as it was in the first dream right out of deep sleep, and it is here and now in the waking. The hearer, the sense of hearing, and the heard are superimposing on the core substratum of innate soundlessness and deafness. You will be able to see it right here, right now. Recognize your frozen numbness. There is no body, no skin, no touch. In the nothingness of your being, in your true nature of emptiness, there is an absence of sensory touch. Nothingness cannot feel sensory touch, and nothingness cannot touch. But in the current moment, you have already projected a sincere spiritual seeker doing a self inquiry. You have already projected that the waker will extend his or her hand and touch the orange fruit. Let the waker follow its flow. Touch the fruit with eyes closed. Recognize if it is smooth, if it is rough, if it has little bumps. Is it hard or is it soft? Feel the texture. Is there a realization that before you touched the orange, there was a numbness, a frozen numbness? And now the toucher, the sense of touching, and the texture are superimposing on that core substratum of innate numbness, of innate insensateness of your core. You have had this realization of superimposition in your first dream, right out of deep sleep, too. Attempt to see the same duality as was in that first dream. It is here, right now. The toucher, touching, and texture are superimposing on the innate numbness, innate insensateness of nothingness. Zoom out from this scene. Taking the stand of the witness, zoom out from this scene. You will recognize a part of you that cannot touch, that is being superimposed on. It is being superimposed on simply by the idea of a toucher touching some texture. Now let the waker peel the orange. While he or she is peeling, notice the smell. Do you recognize that zoomed out part of you, that nothingness cannot smell, that is being superimposed by the idea projected here and now of the waker peeling the orange and some smell emanating from it? That smell is superimposing on your innate nature of smell blindness. You have had this realization in your first dream, right out of deep sleep, too. Attempt to see the duality right here, right now. Smeller smelling the smelled, superimposing on the smell blind substratum. You are that smell blind emptiness. You are not the smeller of the smell. Is there a recognition right here, right now? Is there a realization that in this long silence, there was a yearning to taste the fruit? There was an aversion to your natural taste emptiness and flavor blindness. The projection of the waker peeling the orange was overwhelming, and that projection made you forget your true nature of nothingness. Nothingness cannot taste. Yet there was a subtle flavor thought projected at first. The idea of a flavor flashed in the mind. That was the first level of superimposition of flavor or taste. It was superimposing on your natural flavor blindness. Is there a recognition of your natural taste emptiness? Now bite into the fruit. Is there a recognition that the flavor of the orange is superimposing on your innate flavor blindness nature? Do you recognize that the idea of a taster tasting the tasted is superimposing on your innate taste emptiness nature? Zoom out from the scene. Zoom out to a distance far away from the taster tasting the tasted. Is there a recognition that you cannot taste it? Is there a recognition that you cannot taste the flavor of the orange? You have had this realization in your first dream right out of deep sleep, too. Attempt to see the duality right here, right now. Taster, tasting, and tasted is superimposing on your core substratum of taste blindness and flavor emptiness. Allow the waker's eyes to open and let the eyes look at the fruit now. Is there a recognition that all this while there was the image of a fruit in the mind? The image of the peel was also there in the mind. All this was imagined with closed eyes. That was the first superimposition because you, the nothingness, are image blind. Do you recognize your natural core of blindness being superimposed by that image in the mind first, and now by this gross fruit in front of you? Is there a recognition that there was a yearning to see the fruit? Your true nature is nothingness, nobodiness, which cannot see. Zoom out from the scene. Be distant from it. Recognize the projections are only superimposing on this natural, innate, blind emptiness. You have had this realization in your first dream, right out of deep sleep, too. Your innate emptiness, darkness, blindness cannot see. The idea of seer seeing a scene is superimposing on your core substratum of emptiness. On your innate nature of nothingness. Feel free to continue eating your fruit and notice all the perceptions together superimposing on your core nature of nothingness. Seer, hearer, taster, toucher, smeller are all superimposing on your core nobodiness. the seen, the heard, the tasted, the touched, the smelled are all superimposing on the core nature of nothingness. Notice even the action of eating. That action is superimposing on your innate core of actionlessness. Doership is superimposing on your innate core of non doership. Experiencership is superimposing on your innate core of non experiencership. Layer after layer, layer after layer. Superimpositions are clouding your vision of nobodiness and nothingness. Zoom out, distance yourself from the waker and the waker's world. They are merely superimpositions. Stay at a distance while the action of eating is going on. This is called sublation of the superimposition, the negation of all superimposition. Rest in your innate core of nobodiness and nothingness. Rest in your innate core of nobodiness and nothingness. Rest in your innate core of nobodiness and nothingness.